Good afternoon, Roanoke fans, and welcome to episode 44 of Sports Talk with Rags here in season two. And again, we are glad to have the head baseball coach of Roanoke, Zach Ullrich, back with us. He came on last year. Zach, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm good, Rags. How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great, and I know let's start off here with how last year ended. I know when you came on last year, it was on the heels of the COVID season. Little tough doubleheader loss there in the ODAC tournament after the COVID situation, but last year sixth place in the regular season, but you get in the tournament, and boy, that weekend in Ashland, starting with that 12 inning battle in game one.
Yeah, last year was fun, man. We finished sixth in the regular season. We definitely underperformed during the year at times. We battled injuries just like a lot of teams do. It's no excuse and it's next guy up, but we had a lot of key guys that went down, especially on the mound. In the middle of the year, it really hurt us. And then, you could tell when we got healthy right before that playoff run, I think we ripped off like we were 10-2 or something like that in our last 12, playing really good teams, Randolph-Macon, Shenandoah, Lynchburg, they're all really top teams in the country and great games, man. Our conference tournament, kudos to everybody involved. Like, what a weekend. Like, just all teams walking out, guys throwing low 90s, upper 80s, nasty stuff, home runs, close games. Like, it was just great. It was awesome.
Right. Yes, and even at the beginning of the season, when conference started, it was just the ball was. I know that it was cold, there with starting off against Lynchburg, but just the ball wasn't bouncing Roanoke's way. But like you said, just keep on battling and making it to the tournament. And with the 2 out of 3 situation, I mean, of course, game one is a big momentum builder, but the way the 12 innings, and I mean, whoever was gonna win that dogfight, 95% of the time, you're gonna have momentum on your side going to that clinching game.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a dogfight. It was awesome. It was fun to be a part of. Not in the moment. I think I lost a lot of hair for those extra innings. But you looking back, just great competition, just awesome baseball all around. Like clean baseball. It wasn't extra innings because of errors or anything like that. Like it was just good, clean baseball, and it was fun to be a part of.
Right. And then last year, I mean, the ODAC here, they had the final four at a neutral site down in High Point, and the momentum continues. I mean, opening up against Lynchburg, and 15-3 there in game one. I mean, definitely playing the best baseball.
Yeah, that was kind of a perfect performance from our team that day. It started off, first inning, we got our guy on the mound, Lingenfelder, and, Avery Neves, what a good player, man, from Lynchburg. And, kind of like shocked still, first pitch, he turns a 93 mile an hour fastball, 415 to dead center field. It's like, oh boy, let's wrap up. It's about to go down. Great resilience from our guys to respond to that in the next inning and get guys on. Butler comes back with a triple to get us kicked off in the next inning. And then from there, the ball just started bouncing our way and not for Lynchburg. And, we hit the ball hard, but we had a lot of good, hits that fell our way and balls that dropped, that maybe they don't drop in another day. But yeah, it was a great game, great way to kick off the tournament. Like you said, for us, with a bang for sure.
Yeah, and then, I mean, when you have these quick weekend 4-team double elimination tournament, I mean, that second game, the winners bracket game, you know, just the winner of that winners bracket game that goes to the championship game, you know, they're definitely in the driver's seat. You know, tough, tough game against Shenandoah, but to battle right back, you know, against the regular season champion and knocking out Lynchburg there in 10 innings.
Yeah, you know, the Shenandoah game, like you said, you know, that's the money game to get into the final game with no losses, and comes down to bases loaded, 2 outs, and they got their guy up, and you know, he fisted one, tough hitter, the Lisa kid, he's good, fisted one into center field, walked us off. You know, great execution by them. But yeah, the Lynchburg game, that next game, that's probably, I think if you ask Coach Jones, that's probably the best game that we've both been a part of. Like, that was as good as it gets, man. You know, rivals,
Right.
elimination, they're top 10. We're trying to get in. Like, man, what a game. What a game.
Yeah, and it's, you know, we all know how the season ended. I mean, and I know that my wife and I, you know, definitely enjoyed watching the team play. We couldn't come to that Final Four weekend, but watching it online. But you know, it's just kind of unusual how, you know, the chips didn't fall in our favor for the final, but definitely how you can only do what you can control. But how last year ended, certainly ready to jumpstart here for the 23 season.
Yeah. Not the ending we wanted for sure. But, you know, the fact that these guys, you know, grinded out those games to make it to the championship game, and gave us a chance, you know, kudos to our guys' work ethic and perseverance. And that's a rough weekend, man. And all those teams are beasts in there. Like, there's no slouch in our conference, which is awesome. That's why people come to play in our conference. It's great competition. And we came out sluggish. You know, we played a very intense, you know, night game the night before, didn't get in bed until about 11:30, had to turn around quick early in the morning. And, you know, you can say, yeah, it's a championship game, you should be up for it. But, you know, your body's taking a toll over those days. And, you know, maybe we need to do better to prepare our guys for sure. I've thought about that, and we'll make those adjustments as a coaching staff going into this year. But just to give us the opportunity to play for a championship was great. And, you know, hats off to Kevin Anderson and Shenandoah, man. They kicked our tails, and they deserved it. They were a good team.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, the team has, you know, nothing to hold their heads down. With getting into the ODAC tournament, yeah, the seeding wasn't like the year before where you guys had a home game, but, you know, going to Randolph Macon, then going to High Point, you know, and starting off against the regular season champ, then playing Shenandoah, who finished second, and then, you know, you put everything out on the field there with loser goes home, you know, there against Lynchburg, come back to the championship game. So definitely no slouch when it came to the conference tournament.
Yeah, it's fun. It was awesome. And you know, like I said earlier, like, it's fun as a coach too when you're just watching the talent of both teams just walk out in the field, and it's like, wow, this dude's throwing 90. Okay, this guy's throwing 90. It's no longer like, yeah, we got to the pen. Like, some bullpens in our conference, they're walking out guys that are just as good, if not better, than the starters. So it's really it's cool to watch. And we had great turnout from all the teams, I felt like, at High Point, and it was just created such a good atmosphere.
Yeah, and you know, is the Final Four going back to? That was all four Virginia teams, you know, that had to go to North Carolina.
I don't believe that it's going back. I don't know if this is breaking information or not, but I don't think it's going back to High Point next year. I think we found a location down in the Raleigh area that we're looking at to go this year.
Okay, yes, I did see on the website with preparing for this episode that it looks like it's going to be the same format as last year, but the final four weekend, I think it said like site to be determined
Yeah.
or something.
Yep.
So, but so you guys come home there right before Memorial Day, but with being a head coach and college athletics, I mean, the players might go home and go to their summer teams and work out, but as a coaching staff, it's on the road and recruiting and getting ready for summer camps, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And watching all the teams that you wish you were playing still. So that's probably the hardest part, watching those other teams have success. And I thought Lynchburg and Shenandoah did a great job of representing our conference. Um, but yeah, rooting for those guys to go as far as they can, and um, right into recruiting, like you said, catch the end of the high school season, and then right into summer camps and summer showcases and all that fun stuff that goes along with that.
Right.
Getting ready for the fall the next year, and getting our team all sorted out.
Yeah, and let's see, over the summer or right when the semester started, you were able to bring on an alum as a part of your staff, and somebody that was part of the 2017 World Series team as a player.
Yeah. Coach Rebusel for us last year, he was amazing. Such a good assistant coach for us, and he ended up taking another job, which that's our goal for all of our assistants is come here, get experience, move on, um, and follow your goals. And it worked out right that Coach Guida, Sean, who played for us and um, on our World Series team and is the only All-American here. He's just finishing up playing professional baseball, and it just worked out great. Couldn't be happier. He's done a great job so far. And just having somebody that knows the college and knows the ins and outs of it and has experienced it and knows the program, it's just a perfect fit for where we're at right now, and couldn't be happier with the job he's doing so far.
Right. Yes. And and then here, I mean, for all the listeners out there, I mean, here's a picture of Roanoke's field right there in Salem. Great background of just home of the Salem Red Sox, and took a picture there of the one of the fall games. Just walked up there to the upper deck. I mean, it's a
Great
great
view.
facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, great view, great facility, and you're doing this interview from the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah. We just built a brand new locker room last year. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Came out pretty good.
Yeah.
Guys love it. Um, we get to play out in the minor league facility, every day, practice. Um, it's great for our guys. It's a great experience, and the Red Sox do a great job taking care of us here, as well as the city of Salem.
Yeah, yeah, and coming into the 23 season, I mean, I know that uh, they're not in your conference, but President's Day weekend, going down to Rocky Mount. I mean, starting off with North Carolina Wesleyan, that should be a great opening weekend.
Yeah, we had them last year here, and we split with them. You know, going to be a great games. You get 3 great games against those guys. That's a good team, um, older team. So it's going to be fun. They're going to have a couple good arms for sure. Um, they put it on us game 1 last year, and then we put it on them game 2. So it'll be.
Right.
I'm guessing this rendition is going to be a lot closer than it was last year in those games. So I'm excited for it. Coach Marsh is there on their pitching staff, or their coaching staff as the pitching coach. He played for me and coached with me, so I'm excited to see him too. It's always a good time.
Yeah, and I mean, and then you guys open up, at home there in midweek with Greensboro, but then they're in the end of February, beginning of March, have some out of town teams, come in for either Saturday doubleheaders, even some Sunday doubleheaders, and then into March, even a three way, or I think one weekend here there's
Four-team
like four
tournament.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We finished with the number one strength of schedule in the South region last year, number 7th overall in the country. We want to play the best of the best. We want to test and see how good we are each year. And we're not ducking anybody. Like we want to play the best. So that our schedule next year is this year, I'm sorry. Whew, we're already moving up this year.
Right. Right.
Our schedule this year is, just as good, if not better than last year. I'm excited to play these teams. We got Dickinson and E-Town on a weekend. They're both going to be very good. E-Town was a regional team last year. Then the following weekend, we got Marietta, who's always good. It's going to be a great series. We got Marietta, Brockport, and Franklin and Marshall coming down.
Right.
That's going to be awesome. That's great baseball right there. I'm excited for it. Great coaching going on. Great players. Couldn't ask for a better weekend. And then, like you said, 2 days later we go to Johns Hopkins, play at Johns Hopkins, and then start conference on the weekend. So, I like to schedule multiple games in a row. I think, while you're playing well, play. Like the last thing any of us want to do is just practice and practice and practice. Like that's terrible. Let's play. So I like to schedule multiple games in a row for that reason. Keep the bats hot, keep the players aware on the field and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you talk about play, and yes, in the fall you guys do play, but it's a inter squad, and you might, okay, we got 3 outs, but just clear the bases. We're going to continue going through situations, so you still have practice games, but now here here in March, at the beginning of March, you got full slate on Saturday, full slate on Sunday, catch your breath on Monday, and then a Monday evening or Tuesday morning, you're off to Baltimore, and Johns Hopkins. They're not in our conference, but they're no slouch. So it's a great last 2-game set before going to Harrisonburg for Eastern Mennonite and start the ODAC.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Johns Hopkins, really good program. Have a couple friends on the coaching staff. Looking forward to see them, and haven't played them in a while since I was at Dickinson College, and they were in our conference. So looking forward to going back there and playing those guys. And like you said, get us ready for conference. Our conference is a beast, so we got to play some monster teams out of conference to get us ready for that.
Yeah, and hopefully, since this trip back to Baltimore is midweek, hopefully it's tad warmer than a few years back when Roanoke went to Baltimore over a weekend. It had to be the coldest.
Coach McGuire's told me it was the coldest weekend of his life. Fortunately enough, I was down in North Carolina coaching at that time.
Right, but you do have midweek games when conference starts, but last year you went to Lynchburg, you went to Randolph-Macon, you went to Shenandoah, Hampden-Sydney. This year you have those teams, coming to Salem. So, it's definitely great schedule. And you talk about North Carolina Wesleyan being an older team, but you guys have a lot of people that contributed to last year's team, coming back here this year.
Yeah, 17 seniors. So we are an older team for sure. We return our whole infield. 2/3 of our outfield is returning. So that's exciting. Almost our whole pitching staff too, which is great. We are going to be experienced, and that's why last year was so important for us to make that run that we did. Because to gain that experience and understand what it takes to get there and not make it, as hard as we worked last year, and we worked hard. These guys worked hard, man, and came up short. And that's a life lesson. Like, you got to, okay, new year, buckle up, work harder, figure it out. Let's get the whole thing done this year. That's the goal. That's the message. We want to hold that trophy at the end of the year for sure. And for those guys that get there and kind of get a taste of it and taste defeat a little bit, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see, how we respond, how we come out this year. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's last year, when we rode out to Ashland during the regular season, and it was a tough doubleheader, there in the regular season. But it's definitely nice when you have a rematch when it's tournament time, and you move on. But like you said, you guys can only do what you can control, and some things where you fall short and work harder. It's something that these student athletes can learn when they either go to the next level with playing baseball or get out in the workforce and get a job, or just with life lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. Failure is one of the biggest teachers there is, man. So, we've experienced that. Let's see if we learned our lesson.
Right. And, baseball is a great game, but if you really, look into the, data analysis, I mean, somebody that hits 300 for a major league career is a Hall of Famer, but really that's only getting a hit 30% of the time.
Right. Right. It'll drive you mad. This is a sport that you got to be crazy to play. So, but yeah, I mean, it does. That's what we talk about with our team a lot. Is baseball's one of the sports, man. It teaches you good life lessons. It humbles you very quickly, just as life does.
Right. Yeah, and with being a team sport, it's pitching, defense, offense, and then even with pitching, a starter's done, maybe doesn't have it a day, early hook, but then whoever comes out of the bullpen, if they put down some shutout innings to, with the game being 9 innings, just everybody, working together for that common goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then with a trophy, then those tweets and predictions, that go out there, I'll be looking forward to seeing Roanoke, and then come Selection Monday here this year.
Yeah, last year was tough on the selection show day, but we didn't do enough. Bottom line, we didn't do enough. I don't want to be the team that sneaks in. We want to earn it. So, that's our goal this year.
Right. So, but hey, and let's see. So fall. I mean, the fall season ended with another year of the golf tournament. This was the second year, right?
Yeah.
Roanoke baseball had a golf tournament.
Yeah, second year for the golf tournament. Great turnout. We had 80. I think we had 88 players in it this year. It was awesome. It was a great day, great turnout. The only thing that was going on bad there was probably my swing for that day. But yeah, I mean, great to see a lot of alumni come back, friends of the program, families. A lot of our players play with their families, or had some buddies from another college come and play. Like, I think it's just such a great day to get out and stress free, and just play some golf and talk with a bunch of baseball people.
Right. But yeah, and let's see. So
and they got to see your face, Rags.
Hey, thanks. It's Elizabeth and I. We definitely enjoyed, supporting the team, and I even I even heard after the golf tournament it was someone's front yard decoration.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. You got passed around a couple front yards, I think.
But yes, yeah, my wife and I certainly enjoy following the team and supporting the program. So right here after the holiday break, I mean, what here with January 11th? What kids come this weekend, making their way back to campus?
Yeah. We start practice next week. Pumped to get going, man. I'm
Yeah.
just really excited for this group. Just a lot of hard workers, a lot of good people. Um, and that's what it's about. More than talent sometimes it's just having good people around you that want to work hard for the same thing. And I feel like we got that. We return a bunch of key players. Connor Butler coming back was such a guy for us last year. Owen Lawn, Lingenfelder, just good, hardworking people, good in the classroom, good off the field. That's what we're looking for too when we're recruiting. So, just good overall people that want to work hard. And, I feel like we have that this year. We have the team that can go deep. We just got to stay healthy. And I'm so looking forward to next week, getting back to work with these guys and, see the progress that they've made over this last month and a half where they've been home, working on themselves, working on their swing or their arm or putting on weight, losing weight, whatever their plan was that we worked with them on. I'm just excited to see what they've done, and how hard they've worked in this last month and a half, and where we can push them to be in this next month before we start.
Right. Yes. And Roanoke athletics. I mean, it is basketball season. Roanoke basketball came to play Virginia Wesleyan last weekend. We didn't get a chance to go, but I saw the Roanoke men. Came through with a win. Down here at Virginia Wesleyan. So just the Roanoke athletic program. They seem to have great competitive student athletes all throughout the school year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to name a sports team at Roanoke that isn't successful or in the top half of the conference right now. It's pretty cool to be around, and a lot of great coaches up and down the hallway, which is for me. I was so happy when I got the head job here, just knowing that I had friends that were in the hallway that are head coaches that, I can lean on, I can look up to, I can, bounce ideas off of, and, just learn from them. And, it shows with their teams and, what they're doing on the field. And I'm looking forward to see how far our basketball team can go for sure. I think we got a great team this year. Randolph-Macon's always tough for sure.
Yeah, that team, that school in Ashland.
Yeah, man, that was impressive last year what they did in the national championship tournament. Like, wow.
Right.
But yeah, women's basketball is great. Wrestling, off to a great start. I'm excited to watch a men's volleyball game that we just started here at Roanoke, men's volleyball. So yeah, I'm kudos to all those guys for their programs. It's been great to watch as a spectator.
Yeah, and the ODAC. I really pay attention to the ODAC for baseball season, but just about any sport. You can't take a night off when it's
Yeah.
conference play.
Yeah, I know. I think, to me, it's like the SEC of Division III. It's freaking wild, man. Every sport is, there's one team, and it's not like it might be Randolph-Macon in basketball. It might be Virginia Wesleyan in soccer. Like there's no one team in our conference locking up every sport. So that's pretty cool.
Right. Well, hey, Zach, I know that we went over, but appreciate your time. And any final thoughts here as you get ready to start practice next week, and then the first road game is President's Day weekend down there at Rocky Mount.
Final thoughts. I'm just looking forward to it, man. I'm looking
All right.
forward to the ride. So excited to get the guys back. Excited to see, other coaches around the league and see what they've done with their teams. Just ready to go. Trying to win the whole thing.
with you guys being part of a conference, do you guys have like conference calls, between the coaches, athletic directors, or?
Yeah, normally coaches get together, probably every couple of months, and we have a little conference just to see, check in on rules or scheduling or just a check in, really. And it's good. We got such a great group of coaches in the ODAC. Like, I feel like we can pick up the phone and call anybody in the conference, and you're gonna have a genuine conversation with them.
Right. Well, hey, Zach, appreciate your time. Go Noke, and I know that we've already made plans here to watch you guys play there at North Carolina Wesleyan, and then looking at scheduling some trips there to Salem.
Awesome, Rags. I'm looking forward to seeing you, man.
All right. Well, hey, fans, and any baseball fans there in the Roanoke, Salem area, go check this team out if you haven't been to the Salem Stadium. The same stadium that the Salem Red Sox play. And Zach, I'll go ahead and just close with go Noke baseball.
Go Noke.
All right.